Welcome to the Toffee Blues, your source for all things Everton, and I'm here to bring to you the player ratings of Chelsea 2, Everton 0 at Stamford Bridge Monday evening. It was a disappointing result and a disappointing performance really, but not one that we didn't expect really, because that Chelsea team are really in form at the moment, and we've obviously not been the best in the last match. We're not really on fire at the moment, and we're pretty much cut down by injuries a little bit, by absences such as James and Decore and Seamus Coleman to an extent as well, and there's a few missing, so we weren't firing on all cylinders, but a couple of the players put in a good performance, so I'll go through and rate them for you. Jordan Pickford in goal, I thought was a standout player for us, so I'll give him a 7 out of 10, because he made some really good saves, including that double save as well in the second half, and he was really good. He would have been higher if it weren't for that mistake, obviously giving away the penalty. But he kind of made up for it by making a lot of good saves. Chelsea could have scored a lot more if it weren't for Jordan Pickford today. So 7 out of 10 for me, because he was crucial in providing those saves. And moving on to the defence, start with Mason Holgate. I thought he was really disappointing today. So I'll give him a 5 out of 10, because he was poor defensively, got booked early on, had to be cautious for the rest of the match, and made a few mistakes, couldn't really contain Hudson-Odoi. That was our weak side, certainly in the first half. That right-hand side was really our weak point and where we got exploited. And Mason Holgate was the main player getting exploited. And he didn't offer too much going forward as well. I think his crossing ability could be better. He seems to get enough power on it, but he doesn't really get very much care on it. So I don't think he's a full-back person. I think he should get played at centre-back, and it's only because of the absence of Seamus Coleman that he is getting played at right-back. But I do think we need to sign a young right back as well, who's an actual right back in the summer, and I do think that's one of the Everton's priorities. So no worries. Hopefully we'll bring one in the summer. But moving on to centre back, thought Michael Keane did quite well. I'll give him a 6 out of 10, because obviously we lost 2-0, but he did put in some good challenges and blocks, and he's a consistent performer at the moment, and I thought he was quite consistent again today. Didn't really make too many mistakes for the goals, and he was all right. Ben Godfrey though, it was I don't think he's really put in a poor performance since he joined Everton, but today was probably the poorest we've seen from him. Disappointing from him. I think he obviously scored the own goal. He couldn't really do too much about that. It was just kind of get your body in the way and see where it ends up, and obviously it went in. So that's disappointing. And then I think that shook him a little bit for a few minutes. He seemed to recover, made some good challenges as well. But yeah, 5 out of 10 for Godfrey, because not his best performance, and hopefully he can recover from it, because we know how strong he is mentally. So hope he can come back from it. So move on to Luca Dean. He was all right. Give him a 6, because I don't think he was terrible. He was his deliveries were okay at times, and we couldn't really convert them. Didn't do too much defensively, so standard 6 out of 10. Did nothing special from Luca Dean, but nothing too poor either. Moving on to the midfield, Alan, I'll give him a 6 out of 10. He wasn't at his best. I thought he looked a little bit off the pace. I don't know if it's just because he's just come back, but obviously he started a couple of weeks ago and he looked strong, but today I didn't think he was quite up to it. He kind of couldn't really get hold of the game, where I think that's when he's at his best, when he can grab hold of a game, and obviously it wasn't the game to do that against Chelsea, who were going to dominate the ball. So 6 out of 10 for Alan from me. Moving on to the rest of the midfield, Andre Gomez was really poor. Really let us down, I think, and I'll give him a 4 out of 10, because I thought he was pretty shocking. He's in poor form at the moment, and it's disappointing because we haven't got that much strength and depth in midfield, especially with the injury of Decore. And he was really poor today, so 4 out of 10 from me. Moving on to Gylfi Sigurdsson, I thought he played well before he came off, and I was surprised he came off before Gomez, so I'll give him a 6, because he did okay, and he seemed to be pressing quite high, especially in the second half, pressing Chelsea very well when they had the ball at the back, and I thought he was okay when he got on the ball as well in the rare time that he did. But yeah, 6 out of 10 for Gylfi. Alex Iwobi was another player on the right-hand side who got pretty much bullied in the first half by Chelsea, so I'll give him a 5 out of 10. He probably could have come off before he did as well, because he wasn't very good. So 5 out of 10 for Alex Iwobi. Pretty disappointing performance from him, and I think he understood that as well. When he came off the pitch, he was pretty disappointed with his own performance. But in terms of Dominic Calvert-Lewin and Richarlison as well, I give them both 6s because they didn't do too much wrong. Richarlison was poor considering for a player who scored 4 in his last 4 games. He didn't look like he was on fire, really, did he? And it was pretty substandard for Richarlison, but he didn't do too much wrong, so I'll give him a 6. And Dom as well didn't get too much service and tried his best when he could in terms of hold-up play, but he hasn't had much service at all in recent weeks, and obviously he's not been on the score sheet, so 6 out of 10 because he didn't do too much wrong, but didn't get the ball too much anyway, to be honest. He was quite isolated at times, and it was obviously not going to be a match for him where we weren't on the ball too much. It was a match of moments, and we didn't take those moments, so that's it. That's what happened with the strikers. Moving on to the substitutions, Tom Davies came on and did well. I'll give him a 6 out of 10 because he did all right. He did make a mistake. He slipped at one point, but when he was pressed high by Chelsea, but he wasn't too bad. I think he's been in decent form at the moment before his injury, and it's good to see him back from injury because I do think we need him at the moment as well, especially with the core injury. We're not sure how long he'll be out for yet, but I do think we definitely need Tom Davies back in that midfield. Bernard, I thought he was really, really poor today since coming off the bench, and he was not very good at all, so I'll give him a 5, and he's probably lucky to get that because he fluffed the chance, absolutely ballooned it, misplaced quite a few passes, and for me, he just wasn't good enough really, so yeah, I'll give him a 5 out of 10. Josh King, I'll give a 6 because he tried to be positive. He got more time on the pitch than he has done in recent weeks, so that's good to see. Good to see him getting a little bit more minutes and hopefully some more match fitness. Maybe we'll see a start soon. I would like to see him start maybe on the right instead of Alex Iwobi at some point if we are going to play that same formation again. But yeah, I thought he was positive when he came on. He tried, and that was more than could be said for some of the players today. So disappointing performance, but hopefully we can bounce back against Burnley at the weekend, and it seems to be more of a game that we can get on the ball potentially and try and create things, and hopefully we'll have a couple of injured players back. We don't know James, whether he'll be back. I do think it'll be a game for him to maybe stretch the lines, and we'll see, but we definitely need a result to bounce back from that if we are going to qualify for the Champions League or secure a Europa League place as well. So we need to bounce back from that because it wasn't the best performance, and I do think a couple of those players need a rest from the team to get themselves together again, such as Gomez. But yeah, disappointing night, but not the end of the way because it's a very strong Chelsea team, but we'll hope to bounce back against Burnley. So let us know what you think of my ratings in the comments, whether you disagree with any of them, whether you agree, and I hope you've enjoyed the video either way, and give us a like and a subscribe to the Toffee Blues. I'll enjoy this next time.